Hi, I'm Summer McStravick, and we're here to explore the minds and thinking of some really successful women who've used both their intuition and their know-how to create sustainable, financially abundant, self-created lives. I'm here right now with Leonie Dawson. She's coming all the way from Australia to talk with me, at least via video, via Skype here. And she's just a wonderful example of what it means to self-create your own financial security, doing something that you love. She works with all kinds of women, thousands of women, to nurture their creative gifts and their spiritual gifts, to help you open yourself fully to what those are and then build something really prosperous from it. So she's done the same thing herself. She mentors tens of thousands of women through her monthly or weekly e-zine, which is fabulous, and it's filled with all of her art. I highly recommend it. I get it myself, and I love it. I always just think, how does she have time to make all this beautiful art and come up with this amazing, wise stuff? But she does. So, Leonie, welcome, and I'm glad you're here with us.
Thank you, Summer. It's just so awesome to be connecting with you. This is like mermaid connection.
Well, I guess my first question is that I know that, you teach women how to do kind of what you do. So you're ideal for me to be interviewing for the series. Talk to me about 2008 when you were an artist. How were you doing? Because I think that was the pivotal time for you, right? When you went from... Yep. I'm expressing my gifts, but I'm not financially receiving from my gifts. And you made the leap. So what did you do?
It was a really conscious choice and a specific moment in time when that shift happened. I so wanted to be able to make a living doing what I loved. But I just couldn't work out a way to even possibly make that happen. I wanted to sell my artwork. I wanted to run retreats. I wanted to write and share these gifts that were inside me. And I just couldn't work out how it was possible that I'd ever be able to quit my office job.
So wait, you were working in a cube?
Yes, I was working in a cube. I was working for the Australian government.
Oh, you were a government official in a cube and a secret artist on the side. Okay.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
And I remember this moment when I went for a walk around a paddock near my house at the time, and I thought, my goal is in the next year I'm going to make $30,000 from my passions and my dreams. And I was so pumped, I was so excited, and I ran home and I started writing down numbers of how I could make it happen, and I just couldn't work out how it was ever going to be doable. And I think that's the moment that a lot of people reach. They think, I don't know how to do it, so therefore it must not be doable. Yeah. And instead of me hitting that place and going, well, it's just obviously not going to happen for me, something instead inside me said, but I know that other people have done it and it is doable. So it's just something that I don't know yet. There's just something that I haven't learned yet in order to share my gifts with the world and make it prosperous. And I thought about how, I'd spent so much time building my creative and my spiritual muscles, they were my passions, the things I love doing, but I had spent zero time at the business and the marketing gym. My muscles were so flaccid in that area.
Oh, I know. I've same thing. Well, as creative types, we want to just keep giving our gift out over and over. So keep going.
Exactly. And so to know that, those muscles inside me are actually really, really weak and they haven't been developed at all. And maybe that's something that I need to do in order to be able to share my gifts and earn abundance back for it. So I dedicated myself to learning those keys and those secrets and those business and marketing things that worked and would make a real difference to my income and how I could share my gifts with the world. So I went ahead and I did it, and I did $30,000 a year, and I've doubled or tripled my business in size each year ever since, and we nearly hit $1 million last year.
Wow.
I mean, like, what the heck? I couldn't even work out how to do $30,000 a year before. And it's just so doable and possible once you work out that, you know, once you just build your business and your marketing muscles and spend time and working out how to share with even more people in a prosperous way. It's powerful and it's so sacred and beautiful, and I love that I get to help even more people, because it's really about that. It's really, okay, how do I impact even more people going forward? I know I'm supposed to help 1 million people, so how do I get to them and share what I want to share with them?
Right, so you have more resources to work with, more people who, you know, understand and can see you, essentially, the bigger that you grow. So when you were taking that leap, when you were figuring things out, when you started working with your marketing and business, you know, I think that's often the hardest point for people, maybe women especially, perhaps men too, because you go through so much uncertainty and you try things and they don't work. And then you have self-doubt, and then you think someone is better, and then you think you don't have the money that you need, or then you think you can't quit your job, or what if you do quit your job, and then you think you have to know more to be good at it. I mean, it's like, and it's just these excuses, or they're not even excuses, they're rationales, they make sense. They just start to snowball over you. So you jumped over each one of those as you grew, right?
And, you know, I'm not immune to fear whatsoever. It's just that I can't stand the idea of ever being stuck in that fear. Like, I don't want to give up on my dream just to stay stuck with those fears, because I know they're just shitty beliefs. I know that they're not necessarily true, and that they can be healed and they can be grown through. You know, I'm so in love with the vision of what I want to do and the things that I want to share with the world, that, you know, it's about becoming a monk to your dream and having so much focus on that, so that you are just, your life is a whole living prayer to making that dream come true. And so when you're in full service to that, and there's not as much room for that fear to come up. And when that fear does come up, you kind of keep it in perspective and go, okay, you've come up and I can heal you now. And, you know, because we're not going to stay stuck here. We're not going to make this the story of my life, to stay stuck in this fear.
It sounds like for you then, you are pretty courageous, because you're constantly challenging a fear when it comes up. You recognize it and you say, I see you, I hear you, but I'm not going to stay with you because you're getting in my way. And then you take another step. Do you ever fear that you take a wrong step?
No.
Okay, how come? Like, you say you're going to invest $10,000 in a website. How do you go, oh, that's right or that's wrong? What is that? How do you work with it?
Well, you know, when that fear comes up, it's about working with it just to get really clear. And so, you know, it can work in lots of different ways. When you work out the best way that you work with your fear, with the shit that comes up that needs healing, then just keep on doing that. Like for me, I do weekly or fortnightly sessions of kind of intuitive healing and psychotherapy with a master healer. And that's really powerful and useful for me. I also use a kinesiologist, and being able to, you know, have a support team to help me rise to meet those fears, it makes such a difference, because then I can be witnessed and be heard. And I also have a beautiful mastermind of women who are kind of in the same areas in their lives and businesses as me, and I can be really open and vulnerable with them and say, this is what I'm going through right now, and this is the fear that I'm coming up against. And, you know, we call it up-leveling fears, up-leveling stucknesses, when, you know you've got to invest in something and it's kind of scaring the living daylights out of you, but it is doable. And, of course, you know, you can still use due diligence. So, you know, if I make sure that whoever I hire is really great, as, you know, as much as possible. I accept that sometimes it's going to be a doozy and not work out, but it's all learnable and it's all doable, and it's not like I'm going to keep making the same mistake again and again and again. You know, I still make mistakes. I still make hiring mistakes. I still, you know, come across things where I could have done better, but that's just where I was at, and that's okay. It's okay to make missteps.
Yeah.
And you'll learn so many wonderful things from those missteps, and you won't make those same mistakes again. So it's okay. It's really okay if you mess it up, if you do a giant old donkey poo in the middle of your journey. It's okay. It's going to be okay. And yeah, you don't have to feel paralyzed by the fear of doing something wrong.
Yeah, okay. I like how you say, too, you consciously have brought in a network of people around you, a support system around you. That's something I've also found. Because, you have your friends, you have your family. They're not always your financial support system. They're often dependent on your financial contribution, but they're not your financial support system. And you often have to go out, seek that, create that, find what'll work for you. I've found that too. So I love hearing that from someone else, that you experience the same thing.
Yeah, really.
What do you think about just money in general? Just the energy of money and wealth and abundance. Do you think everybody has access to it in the same degree? Is there differences in talent or abilities, or what do you think? What is the energy of money like in your life?
For me, I used to have such a crappy belief system about money, and I thought that money was dirty, and I thought that rich people were greedy. And my best friend actually reminded me that I said to her, oh, well, I'm never going to earn more than $60,000 a year, because that's just greedy. And I don't,
And I'm an artist anyway, so right?
Yes, it's more pious to be poor, and strapped for cash and that sort of stuff. And I really now, that whole idea of, I was never going to be wealthy. I was never going to be good at money. I was never going to be an investor. I was never going to, have a great retirement. I was never going to live in my dream house. And I thought that was all, kind of set and forget. Like, yeah, well, that's, of course, I'm not going to be a rich person. That's, I'm not going to be wealthy like that. Yeah. And it was only when, my business started doing well, I realized, oh my gosh, I actually need to shift my idea of money if I want to do my work in the world, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to help $1 million, a million people if I'm committed to earning less than $60,000, because like that scale doesn't work. Like, I'm going to need support. I'm going to need employees if I'm going to help that many people. I'm going to need, a system to take it out into the world, and I can't do it in a way that deeply drains me. Yeah. So I really had to heal my relationship with money and see that, earning more money didn't make me any different from who I was. It just gave me more freedom to live who I was in the world, so that I could go and live anywhere in the world that I wanted, in the house that I wanted to live in. So I live in a beautiful house in a rainforest up on the top of Australia at the moment, and it's just stunning. I still can't quite believe I get to live in this beautiful dream house, and we get to run retreats here because it's a big place with lots of bedrooms and stuff, and what a special thing. And allowing that abundance into my life also allows me to then go on and help more people. So we have really big philanthropy goals in our family and with the company that we run, and we want to make a really big, powerful difference. And I remember, back in my broke old days, when a tragedy would happen around the world, and I'd eke together, $100 to be able to donate to charity. And it was it made me feel tense to do it. I really wanted to, but it was like, oh God, this means that I'm, I don't really have any savings
off my table. Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas now, like, being able to give is such a joyful and easy thing for me. Like, it's such a wonderful thing. Like, I can say to myself, oh my gosh, this month, just to keep me inspired, I want to do something really exciting. And so, how about I, donate enough money to create safe drinking water wells for like 200 people in Africa. Africa. That would be so exciting to me. And then I create that money and I donate it, and it just fills me up with so much joy, and just to be able to channel that abundance. So, it's the way that you think about money, you can shift and heal it so that it becomes much more an expression of you. And as per your question about whether everybody has equal access, I think anybody who has internet access, yes, we can create more and more abundance for ourselves. And of course, there are people who are, really at disadvantage in the world. Right. And that's, how I try and help through philanthropy, through Keeper, and so that everybody can, be able to see changes in their lives and to know that their children are safe, and that they have opportunities too. So I think anyone who's in the Western world and has an internet connection, bam, you're in the special lottery, and you get to earn as much money as you like. And we also have a duty to then help out all of our sisters and brothers.
The way you talk about income and money, I can tell you just feel like money is easy. I mean, it's simple. It's if you do something, you're going to get a yes or a no, and then you move on, and then you make more money. It's almost like once you accepted the concept of it, it became something very effortless in your life. Is that kind of?
It is.
That's like the energy you put out. It's effortless in my life. It really is. I just do things and it makes money.
Yes.
So contrast that to a person who says, I do things and I never make money. What do you think that difference is? What makes you different than that person?
I used to be like that. So really not much. It's something that you can shift in yourself. When you start building on your own successes and investing in your own education and implementing, because I see so many people who will invest in education and then do nothing with it. It's like, don't do that, people. Actually,
that's a block coming up, though, right? That's some resistance saying, I got halfway there, but I'm not going all the way, right?
Yeah, really. Don't stay stuck in that victim place. I know so many people who are like, oh, well, but I bought all of those courses and they didn't make a difference to me. And, I can look at their website and I can look at what they're doing and go, yeah, but you actually didn't implement any of it. Come on. You actually have to do shit with it. Come on.
So, Leonie, I know you teach people to do shit with it. So tell me what your work specifically is. What do you do when you work with people?
So I really wanted to set up a life that worked beautifully with my business, so that my business didn't kind of take over and take up too much of my life. So
I saw someone else. You have a 15-hour work week, right? I want to ask you about that. Just for everybody, Leonie she's a brand new mom to a 2-week-old baby. She works 15 hours a week. She's got this $1 million company. How do you do that? I mean, that's what you teach other people to do.
Yeah, really. And, I realized really early on that I wanted, I still wanted to spend so much time with my family, because I've got a 4-year-old daughter, and I just had another little girl as well. And so for me, it was really important to be able to share all of the stuff that I know with as many people as possible without me actually needing to do it one-on-one all the time. So I created programs and meditations and e-courses that could continue to help people even when I wasn't there. So that's, I've built up this big library of creativity and spirituality and health programs and now business and marketing programs, so that anyone can access my materials and learn how to create their own amazing life and business. And so it was really about creating passive income for me, so that I could just turn up and create something and help as many people as possible in the most powerful way possible, without me needing to be there, 50 hours a week or 80 hours a week. Yeah. I still need to be with my hunky love and our cute daughters. I was joking with someone before. I didn't realize it was going to be a video interview, so I'm still in my pajamas this morning.
I know. I think that's amazing. I know. I come and I've got all my makeup on and I'm ready. And you're like, hi, Leonie, I'm in my pajamas. I forgot it's a video interview. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I got out of bed approximately 3 minutes before this call.
I offered you to reschedule and you said, nope, I'm good. And that's the energy of being completely comfortable in your world, your business, your everything. I mean, even by just doing this now, there's nothing in you that's afraid you're going to screw it up because you weren't ready, you didn't look good. You know, the same fears and things people work through when they're relating to their finances.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. And I mean, hello, you can't improve upon perfection.
You
like,
can't, I know. You've got that new mother glow. You got pink cheeks and the sun is coming in on the side. You actually look pretty good. You really do. I look like that, you know, right off, you know, in bed in the morning. All right.
It's the whole oxytocin glow of new motherhood.
Still, I bet you found some magical way of keeping that going too, right? You're like, yes, my oxytocin's going to last for 5 years.
Yeah, injections, oxytocin injections.
So, okay, so you're a marvelous artist. Obviously, you're a savvy businessman, a woman, a great CEO. I know from your newsletters, the way you write is very personal. You just go right to things and say, look at this, you know, do this, feel this, move on. You know, you're gentle, but you don't cut too much slack for people, right? When you're helping them, when you're trying to get them to have this different relationship with money in their lives and choose what they want to grow into.
Well, for me, I'm a Scorpio, so Scorpios love transformation. So that's kind of the thing that I want to share most with the world is, you know, it's a good thing to change, and that's what we're here to do, is to change. Yes. And it doesn't have to be that hard. Mm-hmm. You know, it's cool to heal our stuff. And, you know, I get excited when I come up against something painful because I think, my gosh, when I get out the other side of this, I'm going to be so much wiser for it. Yeah. And I'm going to be such a bigger and wider and deeper person for having gone through this. Yeah. And as someone knows, you know, I just had a horrific pregnancy. I had 9 months of hyperemesis gravidarum, which is uncontrollable vomiting and nausea, which lands you in hospital with dehydration and people can die from it and blah, blah, blah. So for me, you know, I kept thinking the whole way through this, you know, this is the most awful thing to go through. But when I get out the other side, I'm going to have so much more compassion for other women, for anybody who's going through chronic illness, who's suffering from not having, you know, radiant health. I'm going to be a better person for this. And that really got me through in a lot of ways, in knowing that one day this difficulty will be just a part of my story. I won't be living it anymore. And the wisdom and the lessons from it will have risen to the surface, and I'll have gleaned the treasures from it. Mm-hmm. And that's a beautiful thing. So whenever anybody, you know, if you're ever going through a difficult time, when you're coming up against something very painful, something that needs to be healed, or something that just needs to be endured until it's over, to know this is going to form you in a really beautiful way, and is going to give you so many more gifts for the rest of your life as well. So, you know, think of things like that big, beautiful, bountiful blessing that it is.
I have one more question for you, Leonie.
Yes.
Before I let you go to enjoy your morning, if you were looking at someone who has not enough money in their life or not enough financial security, what would you ask them about themselves? I mean, what would be one of the first things you would ask to try and figure out why they've created that? Mm. It's a tough one. I put you on the spot, so.
I like it. And do they want to change it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do, then it's doable. And if you don't, that's okay too. You know, at some point you might want to change it. And when you reach that, then you will change it. Okay. But if you'd like to change it, it's doable and it's possible right now. Yeah. And it's all up to you. You're the conscious creator of your life. And, you know, I'm not talking about just like law of attraction stuff. I'm talking about, set your intention and then do stuff to actually make that happen.
Right.
Make a change, make a shift, heal your stuff. And it doesn't have to take 4 years of therapy to heal your stuff, you know. Just keep on moving, keep on going, keep trying new things, keep inviting that abundance, keep turning up to being of service. And don't stay stuck with your head up your own ass. Like, I say that with love. I say that with love. My art teacher used to say that to me when I was in high school.
I know, that's like, I always say, oh, Summer, get over yourself. Whenever I get too worried about something that I'm going to try or I'm going to do or how will they like it, I go, oh, just get over yourself. And I just go, oh, okay, I better just get over myself. You know, it reminds me I'm putting way too much emphasis on the stuff. But I like that. You're talking about making a shift. For you, it's like you just make a decision, you make a shift, and you commit to that.
Yep. Yeah, nice. And it's so much more fun to be creating and trying out new things and being stuck. You know, you might as well just try new stuff because it's way more fun to do that. It's way more joyous to be living your soul purpose and trying out new things and making mistakes and failing along the way and building on your successes than just to be paralyzed. You don't have to be paralyzed anymore. Like, I'm giving you a big permission slip right now to go out today and do something different. Make a change. Make a shift. Do what needs to be done in order for you to grow and keep on growing.
I think I want to see a permission slip in your next newsletter that I can print out and put up. You have my permission slip. Do something different. Go ahead and change. It's allowed. It's allowed today. Get out of your cubicle. So, Leonie, do you have, besides the permission slip that I want to get from you now, yeah, I think you have something else that you wanted to give people who are watching who might want to find out more and they're like, I love this woman. Tell me more.
Absolutely. I'd love to invite you to get my free How to Be a Biz and Blog Star workbook. And that's a big, beautiful, I think it's about 70 pages, and it's full of my art, but it's also full of my lessons of how I created $1 million business and the beautiful spiritual and business lessons that I learned along the way, because I'm all about combining those two. And to know that it's really doable for you as well, for, you know, every person has such incredible opportunities open to them right now. And my gosh, the world is open and ready for everyone to be living and loving and abundantly and joyfully.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so people just can click on the link that we're going to put up or we've already put up and go get that 70 pages of blissful yumminess. How to be creative and spiritual and in your purpose, and just like you, just like, well, money just comes. Money's just falling toward me now because you believe it, you feel it, you know it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Leonie, thank you. I love this. LeonieDawson.com if you want to go and check out her website. I'm sure you see it up there on your screen. And I'm sure we'll talk again.
Oh, thank you so much, Sonny. You're such a dream come true. And this is just so beautiful that you've put together this amazing, amazing course for people to go through. I'm so glad that people are healing their relationships with money and stepping into their abundance.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.